Eilish, we chatted the other day about, you want to tick off the half marathon job done, another win here at the big half. Firstly, how's the feeling?
Yeah, obviously I'm really happy with today to take the win. It was a little bit tougher than I'd like. I think, as I said, I think the half is probably my max distance at the moment, just with the training we've been building up. So yeah, I found it tough mentally today as well. Just it's a really, really big step forward for me to know, going around the bends, going up and down hills, going over cobbles, that the body's all okay and in one piece.
And you're saying it's much about the mental as well as the physical. How did you kind of get through that today as well? Because your first half marathon since Berlin, when you got that national record, that's over a year and a half ago now. How was that mentally?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to come into a race when you know you're not in the shape of your life. I mean, I went into Berlin ready to run a PB, ready to break a record. So I think it's hard when you're standing on a start line and you put yourself out there when you're not quite 100%. But as I said, I don't want to go into like the next 4 or 5 months just to get fit to then do a race. So I was a little bit apprehensive, a little bit anxious coming in today, knowing that you're not full fitness, but I gave it everything I had today. And as you said, I think it's a big mental barrier coming back from something that was like a chronic injury that hurt every single day. Every step, every time I walked, I was in pain. So a lot of that today is like, going around a corner and getting to halfway and thinking, oh, okay, like everything's okay, the knee's fine, I can sort of move on with my life a little bit now and stop worrying about it and stop panicking about it. So really big mental box tick today.
And you've got this block, of course, big half, Great North Run, Vitality 10K. Has today given you more confidence going into those two races now?
Yeah, I absolutely needed this today ahead of Great North. I think if I'd gone into Great North having not ran the distance, again, I'd probably have that nervousness and anxiousness around how it would feel. And also part of it's like getting used to that feeling of pushing, because you can push in training, but there's nothing quite like hurting in a race. And to be honest, I found that tough through halfway today. So I had the last 10K where I was hurting, and I feel like you get used to that feeling. So now I know what to expect going into Gateshead next week.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm ready now to maybe push things on a little bit again. So I think I'll get a really good boost from today, from hurting and really pushing over that last couple of kilometres.
And you mentioned that you could have spent 4 months training in the winter for next year, the marathon obviously being the big goal, but you cannot replicate racing. What was it like being out in the streets generally today?
Yeah, the atmosphere was amazing. Like honestly, people were cheering me from like mile 1 right the way through to mile 13. So even when you start to switch off or maybe feel sorry for yourself a little bit, especially when I was getting really tired on some of the little inclines, there was people just lining the streets and cheering for you every step of the way. So every time someone was cheering, it gave me like a little bit of a mental boost, and I could feel myself picking up the speed and really pushing with that support. So yeah, definitely needed that today. It's a really cool experience to be back in the UK, and I'm looking forward to a couple more races now.
And going into that final 5K, obviously in the half marathon and the marathon, they are some of the toughest. I mean, what was that like mentally and physically for you generally anyway?
Yeah, I think, as I said, I haven't quite done the training for that last 5K to feel good. It's always going to hurt. So again, there was a bit of a mental thing today to think, right, the last 5K, you're running on really tired legs, and this course is tough as well. There's a lot of twists, a lot of turns, a lot of little small inclines that you don't think about until you get tired. So it was tough today, and I was really chasing down Calli for a lot of that race, and I think that really helped too, having someone there to sort of shoot at the last 5K and really still keep pushing. I think it helps. I think it will really help now push me on for these next couple of races before we sort of take a little bit of a time off, take a little bit of holiday, reset, and then go again for next year.